Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. Today we will be building out a large international airport in the city of Canalville, and I have made a few small changes off camera. We haven't really played around with the city too much recently. I did end up adding in quite a few of these animal product slaughterhouses pretty much over here because we were having some pretty major issues. Anybody who's downloaded my saves on Steam probably is wondering like, man, what's going on with our farming industry? And it's just because of the sheer size of it. There is an overproduction of crops, and what's happening is all of our little barns and silos are filling up, and then the crops are having to shut down because there's nowhere for the crops to be sent. And so I ended up building these out. I did delete a couple other rows and created some animal pastures. I did some more slaughterhouses back here. And it's just a way for us to generate some more money. We were kind of running in the red for a while. I was like, man, I don't really know what's going on. I did also make a couple other changes to our factory. So over here in our little prison island, I reset this because it was kind of stuck. It wasn't receiving plastics deliveries. And then I ended up having to do the same thing here. And anybody who doesn't know, there's actually a reset feature. It looks like we might even be able to kind of test it out on this one. So if you go in to move it, you select the building, you can go to these three little dots and you can hit reset object. And what it does is it will actually reset the whole parameters for that object. So it does get rid of the plastics and the metals that we had in there, but any sort of deliveries that are stuck will now be reset as well. And so it really helps once your city is really large, especially if you're using 81 tiles. A lot of these maps are just not designed to run outside of the 25 tile range. And so whenever you do get out of those ranges, you can run into some pretty major issues. A couple other things that I wanted to mention since I am uploading the saves now. And so anybody who's interested, in about every 5 episodes, I'm going to upload a save onto Steam. And if you're interested, for my members, I do allow you to have access to every episode. I really wanted to provide that for people who are interested in kind of playing around with the cities. There are certain things that I do for aesthetic reasons. So you're going to get a lot of these notifications in certain areas, and I use no abandonment. So a lot of times what I'll do when I'm recording is actually just shut this off so that you guys don't see the notifications. So like I'll place these down and turn it off, and I just did it because I want to have these tanks here. And so it just looks a little bit better having these warehouses kind of filling in the space, even though in the game it doesn't really serve a purpose. And so it shows a notification. And so those are things to look out for. Overall, city's running pretty good. We're standing at about 100,000 population. What's interesting about this build, we're going to be doing a large international airport right here. We do have 2 other airports. We have a large cargo airport over here that's connected to our prison island, and this is like our Air Force kind of base. This was a joint base that we did. But then we have a small municipal airport over here too. So what we're going to be trying to do is take away a lot of the traffic that's going to this airport, especially since we have a little bit of a backup, and diverting it over here. I did initially build out a cargo terminal for this. It wasn't really getting a lot of traffic, so I'm not sure if we're going to do it. We may still throw it in just to kind of fill in the space, but we'll have to kind of see how it works. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and level out a lot of this space. Anybody who's familiar with the Airports DLC knows that the endgame tool just really isn't that great. So now that we have that, what we need to do is go into our trees, and what we're going to do is hold that right mouse button, and we're going to remove all the trees in this area. And I am removing a little bit off that backside as well because we're going to be putting a canal back there. We are going to come back and place down trees. I really want to decorate up these interchanges as well since we're over here. Let's go ahead and make sure that this is level. We're going to have one of our runways kind of protrude out into the water here on a little island, and so I wanted to kind of level that out. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this flood real quick. What we need to do now is go ahead and start working on some of our canal network, and we are going to grab this rural road. We're going to go to straight. We're going to go like that, and then we're going to go into the roundabout builder. We will increase this. Let's go like about here. And so I want to upgrade this now to a dirt road going all the way around. We're going to grab the move it mod, and we will use the marquee tool to select this. And I want to try to level this out in a way, in a position that's going to make sense. This is going to be the center of our airport. So now we're going to go, I think probably right about there is good. And we will grab our dirt road again, and we're going to go all the way around. And I know I could use the parallel tool for this. I just really like utilizing this method. It kind of shows people how you can mimic roads a lot of times, because doing stuff like this can seem really difficult, but it's actually really easy to just follow roads. And so I'm going to go ahead and do this all the way around, and then I'm going to basically mimic that circle, but around this bigger scale. So we'll grab that freeform tool, and then you just follow all the way around. So now that we have that, what we want to do is figure out what we're going to do with our terminal. So I know I want to do a terminal right here, right there. So what I'm thinking is we will grab this road, and we will bring this out, and I want it to go out at a 90. Let's go ahead and go all the way out here. Yeah, you know what? That actually looks pretty good right there. So we'll go like that, and then let's go ahead and copy that on this side. So we'll go out like right here. Let's go ahead and look at that in proportion to our highway. So we are a little bit off. So what I want to do is come all the way down here, and we're just going to rotate this just a bit, not much, because I want this to be kind of straight on with that highway. Even though that's not perfect, it's still going to be a lot better than what it was. So now what we'll do is we will come up over here. Let's go ahead and go off from like right here. Let's go ahead and go off from like right here as well. And so these are going to be our canals. It actually looks like maybe if we went down one more, this would be a little bit better. So if we grab this, delete those. Yeah, I think this is going to be much better. So we'll go out like this. And now what we're going to do is just go out 10 on either side. And this is going to be our canals. And so we're going to go like this and connect them all the way up. I'm going to do it all the way around. Now that we have that, what we can do is actually start painting in some of our terminals. So let's go ahead and drop that speed down. We don't need it on 3 speed. I'm going to go into the paint airport area tool, and we're going to increase it all the way around. We're going to paint this whole area. Once that is complete, we have a rough idea of what our airport is going to kind of encompass. So now we're going to go into the transport tab. We're going to go to airport area, and I want to utilize these 2-story ultra modern terminals just because I really like the look of them. I know I tend to use the ultra modern a little bit more than any of the other ones. I think that they look a little bit better. So now I want to kind of line this up in between the canals. We may come back and play around with this a little bit more. So we're going to come over here. We're going to do a big one right in the middle. We'll go just like this. Then we'll come over here as well, do one like right here. I want to leave a little bit of a gap in between the road and this roundabout over here. And so we're also going to do 2 over here as well. We're going to do one right here, and then we're going to do one right over here as well. And so these are going to be our entrances to each one of these terminals, and we are going to hook up a monorail line going all the way around as well. It's kind of why I left the space in the middle, because I want to do the monorail line on the inside of this. It does look like these are a little bit closer than the other side, so I think what I'm going to do is just bring these out just a bit. And so now that we have that, let's go ahead and draw out some basic terminals. So we will grab our concourses, and for some reason my concourses are not within the transport tab, so I'm having to just type them in here. I'm not really sure what the problem is. I think it has to do with yet another toolbar or something like that. So if we go in here, now what we can do is go ahead and follow this down. Let's actually extend out that canal just a little bit, and that way we can go back into concourses and bring this out. And I want it to be right next to that, so we're going to go like this. We're going to go down, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. We'll grab it, go all the way close to it, then bring it all the way down. And the reason we're doing this is because it really captures a fun look in here. So it does look like we're just a little bit off on this side. So if I bring this back just a smidge, what we can do is actually have it bend that way. And I kind of want to find out what angle that was. So it was about 152. I want to capture that same angle on this side just so that we can get it to be the same. So it looks like we're, pretty close. It's not going to be exact, but we'll go like this, and then we will follow that same kind of idea that we had on the other side. Let's go ahead and turn off snapping so that we can get it right next to the canal. And then for these sides, we're just going to do the one side for now. And there we go. So we have our main concourse terminal over here, and then we have some other like auxiliary terminals. And we're going to use this to separate some of our small airplane stands and our large airplane stands. Like I think we're going to do our large ones over here. So this will be the international terminal. And then we'll utilize some of the smaller ones and medium ones over here. And so now that we have that, what I want to do is finish the rest of our canal network. So I do want to do an island over here. So we're going to grab this, we're going to go down, and then we need to turn. We're going to turn this way, and then I want to stay at about a 90. I want it to turn down. And then we're going to go ahead and go 10 across. And this is going to be the width of our canal, but I want this to kind of separate over here. So I think we're going to go at about 20. So if we go like that, and then come up here, it's going to create an opening, but it's also going to allow us to define this island over here. So it does look like we're a little bit off on that. So I think what we'll do is let's go ahead and measure it off of this. So if I go out like right there, I think we're just a little bit off. I want to be sideways. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this real quick. All right. So what I did is I just moved it back, and then instead of doing a 90 off of this road, I actually drew it in the direction that I wanted our island to be. So now we're going to come all the way out here, go just out to the water. And I have forced ground piece on, so it's going to build me a little island when we build out these roads. It still does tend to mess up a little bit. Then we'll go like this. We'll go ahead and go all the way up until we get those 3 dotted lines right there, and then we will cut it back. And then let's go ahead and do the same thing over here, but we're going to go ahead and turn it. So we'll go like this, and then we will turn it, and then have it come up here and connect up. And so the reason I did that is because we're going to do our runway right here, and I wanted to have the canal kind of going around it. And so for these ones, what we're going to do is we're going to grab this, and I want it to turn. So we're going to have it turn up here, and then I want it to dive into this other canal. And basically what I'm going to do is have this one turn up this way and then dive into this, and then I'm going to have this one come up here, turn left, and then I'm going to have a canal run next to the road and actually dump into this connection over here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in these dirt roads real quick. So I'm thinking this is a pretty decent design. I decided to add in this whole canal going over here, connecting to our canal network down here so that we could get some ferry access. But then I also did an outlet over here because we're going to have to close off some of these for our taxiways. We're going to do some little tunnels and stuff and make it look cool. But I think this is a pretty decent design. So we have enough space up here to do our runway up here. We may even have to move this down a bit. I didn't really look at this. I thought this was about the same height as that. It would have been good if we cut it down like right here. But overall, I think this design looks pretty good. So now what we need to do is go ahead and flood all this in just so that we can get our water in, kind of see what we're playing around with. And so anybody who is familiar with this method of doing canals, all you do is just right click, kind of fill all these in. You want to do this first before you do your key walls, just because the water helps the key walls to read more correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and fill these in and then probably put in the key walls. And then we can start working on our runways and our taxiways and all that and start getting some planes in. So I ended up having quite a bit of flooding when building out these canals. Connecting this up over here caused a lot of these to kind of converge here in the middle. We ended up having this whole island basically flood. If anybody's interested in how I ended up building out these canals, I actually do have a tutorial on this. It's actually super easy. It is in my tutorial playlist, so go ahead and check it out if you're interested. Now what I want to do is start working on our taxiways, and then we need to build out our road connection. And so the first thing we're going to do is actually build out our runway. So we're going to come in here, we're going to grab our runway, and we are going to go all the way across. And it actually looks like we need to expand out our airport area just a smidge. So we'll grab that, go ahead and fill that in. And then let's go back to our transport tab, and we're going to grab our runway. And we're going to go all the way across. And initially I was kind of toying with the idea of doing multiple runways, but the back runway doesn't get utilized. And so I was like, I'm just not sure if it's really necessary. We're going to go ahead and grab this line. I want to go kind of off the middle. We'll go like right here. And then we're going to go all the way across. And then we'll grab our taxiways and we will come out one and then go all the way across and then connect it up with this one. And we are going the wrong direction. So we do need to hold that right mouse button, go all the way down. And now that we have that, we do need to start identifying where our taxiways are going to go across the canals. And so in order to do that, we're going to have to pause. We're going to delete a small section. I'm thinking probably even 2. That looks like it's a little too small right there. And so we will fill in this small space. We're going to build our taxiway across. We're actually going to use some ploppable asphalt to go across, make it look like a bridge rather than just having the canals kind of turn. I think it's just going to make it look a little bit better. So let's go back into our transit tab. Let's grab our taxiways. Let's go up here, have this go straight, and then we do want to be a little bit far away. We don't want it to be right next to each other. These planes are big. And so now that we have that, I think we're pretty good. Let's go ahead and do another one over here. So we're going to delete 2 sections, go like this, go ahead and fill it in, and then do the same thing with the taxiways. And one of the tricky things whenever dealing with these taxiways is these nodes. And so if you have the network multi-tool, you can actually just remove the node right next to it, and it just helps it to run a little bit better. So now that we have that, we can delete this. Let's go ahead and do one more over here. So we'll grab that, and then we're going to end up having to do one more over here as well. Now that we have fixed this, we have a little bit of flooding, but there's nothing we can really do with it at this moment. We do need to make a connection over here as well. So let's go ahead and do 2 over here. So we have a connection right here and a connection right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing that I did on these 2, flatten them out, and then do the 2 taxiways. Okay, so I was able to get 2 more of them done. Because this one's already flooding, it wouldn't allow me to properly build on top of them. So what we're going to do is go ahead and hit play, let these flood out, and we should be able to start building out our taxi stands. So I want our large aircraft to be over here. So we're going to go ahead and go like right here, go there, and then I want it to kind of mimic it on this side. So we're going to go right there, and then right there. And then we're going to go ahead and do some here in the middle as well. So we're going to do one right there, one right here, and we're probably going to do one more right there. Looks like we're going to have to level these off just a bit. So if I grab this, just bring it over. You don't want these lines to overlap because those are the aircraft like parking lines. And so we want this to go like right there. And the reason I left these gaps is because it allows you to do those airline lounges, which are very beneficial to your city, to your airport. And so now let's come over here. We're going to use the small aircraft stands over here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off anarchy just so that we can make sure that we put these in correctly. So we're going to go like that. We're going to go ahead and mimic it on this side. So we're going to follow this corner. Looks like we got quite a bit more on that side. So I wonder if we could get one more. No, we're much tighter on this side. So So now we have small aircraft stands, large aircraft stands. Let's go ahead and fill in these sides with the medium ones. All right, so now that we have all of our airplane stands, we're going to go ahead and connect up our taxiways. And so I do want it to go right to left just because right-hand drive is what I'm used to. I'm not sure if there is any sort of particular method when it comes to aircrafts, but I feel like it just makes it a little bit easier for me that way. So we're going to go ahead and go like this. We're going to line it up, come back this way, and then we're going to go ahead and do the same things on this side. We're actually going to come in from this angle, go like this, connect it all the way up. And the reason we're doing this is because it's just going to allow us to kind of see what we're working with in terms of taxiways. So we're going to grab this, go across, come like that. And you know what? That actually works out pretty good. I think now we can fit this one in perfect. So we'll come up over here, have it turn around, go like this. And we are going to get rid of these little crossroads. I'm just doing that to measure them. And so now we can grab our taxiway. Let's have this come up here. And then we want this one to go down here. Actually link up with that other road, but we also want it to link up with this road. So we're going to go like that. And then we're going to continue this one on, have it connect up right there. Let's go ahead and flip these around, go like that. Perfect. So now we have a loop going around. I think we're going to still do one more in here just so that aircraft aren't required to kind of go all the way across. I do want it to kind of line up with that though. Yeah. So if we go like that, it looks pretty good. And so what that does is it allows aircraft who are maybe in here to just kind of connect up with this taxiway really quick rather than kind of going all the way around. And so now we will go up here until we can line it up with that, connect it up. And then I think what we're going to do on this side is just have it turn around because we're going to have a road in here. We really don't want it to kind of mess with anything we got going. So we're going to bring this across, have it come down, go like that. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for this one, though we're a little bit off on this side. So I think if we go like that, and then we will grab this, have it turn around. Yeah, that looks okay. I'm going to go ahead and grab move it mod though, and we're just going to level this up a little bit better. And then for these sides, we will do the same thing. So we'll grab this and we'll have this go straight. And we're going to use a lot of these empty spaces for airplane storage and hangars and stuff like that, like this whole area over here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. So we've connected it up over here. We do need to put in a couple of the taxiways in the middle just so that these larger aircraft aren't stuck going all the way around. That would definitely be a problem. So we want to grab this. Let's go ahead and go from like right here. So we're kind of stuck in this. I think they're going to just be required to go all the way around, even though there would be other methods. I don't think normally in airports, these would be one ways. I think these would be bidirectional, but I think we're kind of stuck. So we're going to go ahead and do another airstrip over here and then connect up our taxiways. So we'll grab this, go all the way across. Let's actually go from the other side just so that we can save some time and flipping this. And then that way what we can do is actually have this continue on and then connect up with this taxiway, and then we will turn this one. So we'll bring that back just a smidge, and then let's go ahead and connect this up. I want it to look good. We're a little bit off. So if we go like that, yeah, it looks a little bit better. And then that way what we can do is actually grab this. So we will come off like right there. Yeah, we'll go like that. And then let's go ahead and bring this up as well. And it looks like we actually have a 90 right there. So we'll go like that, and then we can flip that around. So we want this to flip around. Not really sure why we went that direction, because I think we're going to flip it the other direction. Yeah, that just looks a little bit better in my eyes. And so we do need to connect up this taxiway over here. Okay, so we have most of our taxiways hooked up, and it does kind of look like a mess right now. We are going to come back and cover a lot of this in with concrete, and we're going to do some little decals around the outside of the taxiways just to kind of make it look a little bit better. So now what we need to do is actually hook up some of our roads. So we don't have any roads connecting any of these terminals or to an outside connection as well. So this would be a major problem for our airport. What we're going to do is we are going to try our best to line this up. So I want this to kind of come out a smidge, and then we're going to go across. We're going to line it up with this next one. So we will then do the same thing here. Let's go ahead and go across. I do want this to follow the terminal a bit. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to come across, go like that, connect it up. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, have it follow that concourse so that we can get a nice angle on it. And then over here, we're just going to go out a smidge, and then we're going to come out a smidge here, and we're just going to connect them up sideways. And that way it gives us a nice clean angle on it. So we're going to upgrade these now to bridge pieces, since that would be pretty important, especially with the canal. So we'll come across, upgrade these all to bridge pieces, going all the way around as best we can. We do need to fix some of our angles on here. So this one actually looks okay. This one looks okay. It actually doesn't look bad. I like that these are lined up with that. I like how this is kind of lined up with that too. We could have even maybe brought this one out just a smidge more. So if we went out like right there, and that way what we can do is actually raise this up just a little bit. We don't need to get crazy with it though. And so we will go like this. And actually it looks okay. It's a little bit low. We're not planning on getting ferries in this middle section. I don't think that that's going to be practical, having like a ferry stop at our airport. But we are going to get some walking paths and stuff to this middle section, just kind of give people something to do. And so I think this looks pretty good. I like this little bend right here. I kind of wish it was a little bit cleaner, but it's parallel with the concourse, which is really what I was trying to go for here. And so now let's go ahead and grab our 3-lane one-way, and we are going to go to unmodded. And let's actually measure this out first, because if we don't, there's a good chance it's just going to get all messed up. We are a little bit off on this side. I wish I kind of would have measured it beforehand, but we're just going to roll with it. And so we're going to grab these, go out, and the goal is for us to actually curve these in, and that's kind of why it's going to give us a little bit of an issue. So if we grab our freeform tool, come all the way out here, so we'll go like that. And actually, you know, it doesn't look bad. It's a really small variation. I'm tempted to even just slide this a little bit up. So if we were to grab everything, all right, it looks a little bit better. I don't think we're going to really be able to get that perfect unless we were to delete the terminal, which I really don't want to do. So we're going to go ahead and bring this out. And what I'm going to do is just do 2 fly unders. Because this is such a tall elevated highway, we really don't need to do flyovers. And so I'm going to grab a regular ramp. I'm going to come out. We need to come out pretty far since we are dropping quite a bit of a distance. We'll come out over here. I'm going to turn off snapping, and I'm going to do the 2 far sides first, just so that it gives us a little bit of a better idea what we're working with. So we're going to come this way, and then we're going to turn it around. We're going to go like this, and then we are going to loop it in, go like that. Then we're going to go ahead and go on the other side as well. We need to go pretty far back, give us some space, and then loop this around. And then what we're going to do is, ooh, that actually came out pretty good. So we want, the one thing we need to worry about here is whether these two kind of clip each other. So we do need to upgrade these to bridge pieces going all the way down. And then once we have that, what we're looking for is a pretty even slope on here. So we're going to grab the slope tool within the network multi-tool, and we will go all the way over here, go ahead and hit enter. And this is just such a great tool for doing stuff like this, because it really just allows you to get the best grade. And then what we can do is come down here, and you can kind of see this is just a little off. So we are going to grab our node. I think we're going to grab this one, and we're going to go down just a bit. And then we can grab our slope tool again. We're going to grab that node just underneath there. And then we're going to come all the way up here, and we're going to hit enter. Yeah, you can see it's still pretty good grade on there. And so we do need to do the opposite side as well. We're going to grab that. We're going to come all the way over here, go ahead and hit enter, smoothing that out. And so now we have a pretty decent connection coming off of here. And so for our other sides, what we're going to do is actually right click out of network multi-tool first, and we are going to slope this off. Let's go ahead and go up just a bit, even though we're going to grab that slope tool again. So we will come up over here, and we need this to be pretty long since it connects up right here. It doesn't have that whole other side. So we will come up over here as well. Let's go up, and then we should be able to just grab our slope tool, come on over here, do the same thing, go ahead and hit enter. Yeah, 4.8. So that, I mean, it's a pretty steep grade, but it's not something that's undoable, especially like semis would still be able to make this, which is good. Now that we have that, let's go ahead and grab, we are going to do a 3-lane highway. We're going to go all the way up, go like this, and then we do need to do a couple loop arounds for this elevated piece. So we are going to grab our 3-lane one-way with bus. Let's go, I want this to follow the road. So we're going to go like this. Let's go down 1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come out just a bit, and then we're going to loop it back, go down 1 more, and then we're going to curve it in. And so I want to mimic that on this side. So we're going to come out and then have it cut in. And we are a little bit off again. So what I'm going to do is just use Move It Mod, and I'm going to shift these around until they match up. All right, so I ended up redrawing this in, and I did use a rule row to just kind of measure out that little, the bulge in here. And so I think this looks a little bit better. We do need to use this slope tool though, because I pretty much went straight down to the ground. So we're going to go ahead and hit enter there. We will hit enter here, and you know what? It definitely looks a lot better, and this works as a nice little turnaround as well. What we can do is just kind of connect these up. What we are going to be doing as well, though, is actually creating a turnaround. So we'll grab a small 2-unit road, and I want it to go probably about like right here. So we'll go ahead and turn off snapping, and we will bring this out, go like that. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the opposite side. Then we're going to use the loop tool within the network multi-tool. We'll grab this, we'll grab that, and that looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and hit enter. And then we will use the Move It Mod, grab that middle node, And let's actually upgrade to bridge pieces first. So we're gonna go bridge piece all the way around. And the reason you have these is, say somebody's picking somebody up and they've missed their turn, or maybe they haven't arrived yet, and so they're just kind of driving around. So we'll go ahead and flip these around. Looks like I forgot. Let's turn these the right direction. So now we have two little connections in here, and it actually looks kind of cool with a little pattern. And so now what I want to do is go ahead and grab a 2-unit road. I think we're going to use the 2-unit 4-lane. So we'll grab this, go into straight, and we are going to turn on snapping. We're going to come out just a little bit, and we want it to be level. So we'll go like this. Yeah, you know what? That looks okay. It's a little off, but that, it's because they're not perfect. And so what we're going to do is grab our monorails, and we're going to go all the way across. And you see how it doesn't allow us to kind of latch it to the front of these? What we're going to do is go into the network multi-tool, go to unlock segment. We're going to unlock these, go all the way around. And then what we can do is go into our road and upgrade these. And what it's going to do is allow zoning on those roads. It does kind of change it up a little bit. Like the road that's there has this little dotted section for the bus lane to where like regular cars would be able to pull over. Like it says buses and taxis. Well, for some reason, when they created that road within the airport's DLC, they decided not to make it a real road, which is kind of weird, but they maybe didn't think about it. And so we'll go ahead and line this up. I want it to be like in the middle. I kind of don't like how this looks. So now that we have that, what I'm thinking is we're going to grab we're going to go into Metro, and we're going to utilize this stop that came with the Plazas and Promenades DLC. So I think it's really nice. It's a nice little centerpiece. Like as you're driving in, you see this huge building, but then it's going to allow great access to our Metro line right here, or to our monorail. So now we're going to go back to our monorail, and we're going to do a stop right here, stop right there, stop right there. And these two are connected to the one in the middle. And so we do want these to be more centered though. I don't want it to be kind of off to the side like that. So we'll grab this, kind of center it up, come up over here, do the same thing. And then we'll come up over here, do the same thing. So now we need to kind of connect these up. And I think we're going to do more of a curve rather than following the road. So we'll go ahead and curve these around, connect that up, and then we'll do the same thing here, kind of curve this around, connect it up. And then I think for this side, we're going to be kind of stuck because it's not going to really curve that well. So if we grab this, have it go like right there, and then have it follow the road down. Well, let's go ahead and turn off snapping since we're kind of wobbling around there. We'll go like this, and then what we can do is turn back on snapping and have this kind of curve around, go like that. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing here. Now we have a nice monorail line going all the way around. What we can do is go ahead and connect up our lines as well, and it looks like that went the wrong direction. So we'll go ahead and make a stop right there, stop right there, stop right here. For some reason, it just wasn't connected properly. It looked like it was connected into the same node, but I guess it wasn't. So now we should be able to come up over here. Yeah, we can go all the way around now. Nice. So we'll go ahead and connect that up, and then we'll go and create an opposite direction line. So what we do need to do is do our top roads as well. Now I want our top roads to mimic the bottom roads. So I'm going to go in here, get out of that, grab our bus road again, and then I'm basically just going to copy the bottom road as best I can. All right, so I ended up going all the way around. It was actually pretty easy. And so it does look like while we were going around, I didn't fix some of these bottom roads. They're facing the wrong way, so it would be kind of tough for people to get through here if the roads were backwards. And so now that we have that, so we have our entrance coming in. It looks pretty good. I mean, when you're on the ground, you really can't tell that it's slightly off, so I don't think it's the end of the world. It's only in the ear that you're like, man, this side is just a little bit off. It's kind of frustrating. And so I'm going to go ahead and throw in some water pipes real quick, and then we're going to start welcoming in some of our first planes. All right, water pipes in. So now we can go ahead and hit play, let a lot of these notifications disappear, and see if we get some planes in. Oh yeah, look at that. All of our large ones just appeared. We got a ton of these coming in. Let's go ahead and make sure that they're connected to some flight paths as well, because this could be an issue where we're a little bit too far out of the city. Okay, so it does look like there is a connection. It looks like there's planes coming this way anyways, maybe from that other line. We just want to make sure that they could get into this corridor because we have our airline corridor in here. And so we can actually go in there and kind of check it out. So if we grab this, go in here, we can see this purple line is the airline line. It is a little bit farther away. Like you could see these other two airports are much closer to this. And so it was a concern when I was doing my test builds was, does the airport even get any airplanes? Because right now we have 15 active flights, but a lot of those are planes that are leaving. But looks like we got some cars coming in, which is good. It shows that our roads are working. We got both the cars on the top and bottom. And so we do need to hook up this line, this metro line. And what I'm thinking, I was kind of looking at this. And I think we can just kind of bring this underground and have it come back up over here and then connect up to the underground terminal. I think that's going to end up being our best bet. So if we go ahead and pause real quick, just so that we don't permanently mess up our metro line, we're going to bring this back, and then we will use the picker mod, grab our metro line, go underground now, and we can actually turn on snapping just to make sure that we're at a nice perfect angle with that. And then we can go down, let's go underground, go like this. Then we're going to go ahead and go up, and then we will curve it around like this, and then we do need it to kind of connect up with this. So we'll go like that, and then curve it around, go above ground. Let's go ahead and slope that now. So we will grab this, because it looks like we're going to probably mess up this a little bit, but we'll go ahead and hit enter. And then any of these like bulges right here, what we're going to do is actually force it into a ground piece so that we can get it back above ground. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing here. So we'll grab this, and then we will come all the way back here since we don't have anything underground. Go like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And we can actually upgrade that to a ground piece as well if it'll allow us. So now we have an underground piece, and what we can do is go ahead and connect this up now. So we will come up over here, go ahead and connect it up like that. And then we will grab this one. Looks like we're a little bit too far to the right. And then that way what we can do is actually just grab this and loop it around. So we'll have it come up here and then go this way. And so now we can grab our metro line. Let's go ahead and hit play just so that it can figure out this whole tunnel thing now. All the metro lines are like, what's going on? There's a tunnel here now. It'd be like mid-shift too, like it just appeared. The tunnel wasn't there and now it is. So now we have that connected up. So we have metro access. They have monorail access across the road. Let's grab the node controller and we can do a nice little stop in here just so that people can cross the road real easily. Because we're so far out of the city, I think what's going to happen is we're not going to get any planes in here, even though, yeah, so it says active flights 1. What we need to do is go in here to our air transport, and we're going to grab this airplane path. And what we're going to do is make this airline route a little bit closer. So if we grab this and then come up this way, we can actually just go like this, and then we'll come up to the edge of the map and create another external connection, which is good. So right now we have a connection on this side of the map, and we have a connection on this side of the map. We have a connection on that side of the map. So I'm thinking what we can do is actually grab this and have it come down here and create another connection. I think that could be good. Grab this again, have it loop up here, and then connect up over here, just to provide a little more access to our airport, because otherwise I just don't think that airlines are going to come in. So now we can kind of let that play out and see now if we're going to get any airplanes, which we should. So we got one flight in, which I think is what was scheduled, but now we got 2. So it does look like by adding in that extra route that it may have helped the planes to get down here. Now what I want to do, just because the space is so empty, I think we are going to add in that cargo terminal. It does help to deliver some cargo to this area, so I don't think it's a complete waste, but it just doesn't get a ton of traffic because of that other cargo terminal. And so we're going to go ahead and expand this out. We're going to grab this and we're going to do a whole like kind of industrial warehouse district over here with the cargo terminal. So we're going to grab this and I want it to go diagonally. So we're going to go probably about like right there, and then we will grab our road. Let's go ahead and grab a small 2-unit 4-lane road. We're going to connect this up. Let's go ahead and go to unmodded, go like that. And then we will grab this road as well. Let's go ahead and connect this one up as well. So we'll go like that. I think that looks pretty good. Then that way what we can do is actually have this kind of loop back. So I'll have this go back over here, probably go like right there, and then follow the key wall a bit. I think right there is probably good, and have it turned down just to provide a little access. We'll do some warehouses and stuff in here. And so I do want to provide a little better access to this as well. So we'll go like that, and then let's line that up a little bit better. And then that way what we can do is actually just have this road kind of connect off. But let's connect up our cargo stands first so that we can kind of see what we're working with here. So if we go like that, go like this, go like that, go like this, and then yeah, so if we have this road kind of continue on and then go up here, we can do like a power plant, something like that, maybe some more warehouses, some airplane hangars, which are always necessary. So now we've hooked those up. We need to connect them up to the taxiways. So we'll grab our taxiways, come in here, have this just connect up right there, and go like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good, because then we can do some airplanes in here and stuff and make it look good. And so I do want a power plant. I want some warehouses. So I think we're going to go ahead and go up this way. And then we'll probably have this turn, go like that. And then let's do just a couple small power plants. We are We're not really in a huge need for power, but it does fluctuate, and so it is something that we do want to have over here, and it tends to look a little bit better if we just have a couple. So we'll go like that, and then I think I'm just going to do a small fence around it. So we'll grab this little park fence just to kind of block that off a little bit. Yeah, I think that looks good. And so we want to do some hangers in here as well. We'll grab this, and let's go ahead and do a couple big ones off of this road. And then let's grab our taxiways. So we'll use the picker mod, grab this. Let's go ahead and extend this out. And then I think we may even just shift these over a bit. So if we grab that, go this way. And then I think what we can do is grab this, have it turn, go like there. And then we can have it kind of turn up to follow the hangers, which I think would be good. So we'll grab this, and it provides some road access for the workers and stuff, people who are working in the hangars, which would be good. So we'll go like that all the way down, grab our road. And I think we're gonna redo this because then we can move those. So if we go like that and then grab that same road, we can do, so we want it to be like right here and then turn in. And then that way it provides access to the hangars, which is very important. And so let's grab our power plants now, and we can bring these down, go like right there. Perfect. And I'm just going to go ahead and draw that fence all the way around again. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then we can put in a couple small little warehouses over here. I don't know if we're going to actually utilize the warehouse just because it doesn't have great road access. If this were in real life, though, you obviously wouldn't have just mountains of cars driving down this road. And then it does look like we need to hook up water to these areas, which would be pretty important. And so I do want to do a couple other road maintenance roads in here. So I think what we're going to grab this small 2-lane county road. We're going to grab this, and we're going to have it turn. We're going to have it follow around the outside. And the reason we're going to do this is because it provides like a perimeter road. It's like a safety road for people to kind of drive around, like airport police and stuff like that. So we will come up here, have this go there. And so I do want to get some airplanes in here too, but I think we need another little road around this, probably around this outside. And so now we have like emergency crews, stuff like that too. Obviously they'd be able to drive on the taxiways like any sort of like firefighters and stuff like that. I'm happy to see a lot of, planes coming in. It's not a ton of planes, but it's definitely some. We can check on this as well, see if we're getting any sort of, yes, we're getting some people. Not a lot, but getting some. So it says 2 flights active. And what's actually kind of funny about this too is because we have the Air Force Base over here, the joint Air Force Base, all of our cargo planes are actually like Army planes. So you can kind of see this one right here. And I can't change them based off of the space. So we're just going to end up getting like Army air cargo over here, Navy air cargo. And so I think it looks cool. But so we are going to do some parked cargo planes. And then I want to get some large planes over here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I guess we'll just leave this space empty. I kind of was tempted to do more cargo planes or more hangars. Maybe we could just do a couple more hangars. Yeah, because in that way we could kind of fill in the space a little bit more rather than leaving it empty. Yeah, that could be good. You don't normally, at least in my experience of airports, see a ton of parked planes like out in the middle. They're normally in like storage areas like this. Like we could probably do some more in this space. So I think this is looking pretty good. It does look like this one over here would actually match up well with that other side. So we'll go ahead and place down 3, go like that. Fantastic. It looks like maybe a couple more on this side could be good, or we could leave them. But we do need to start doing like our lounges, our towers, stuff like that. So because of how spread out the airport is, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of these air towers facing the runways like that. And so I think that this would be pretty good. This one doesn't have great access over there. This one, so these ones are both kind of blind to these other sides. So maybe we'll put in another one over here. Do that. And the good thing with these two is they actually boost your attractiveness for some reason. So we'll go ahead and do one on either side just because, again, those sight lines are just really hard to see. So I want to do a couple of these airline lounges as well. We're going to go ahead and place some of them in here, go like that. These are areas where, like, if you're a part of like an airline club, like maybe you fly with United all the time, then you're able to kind of go in there and, there's windows and stuff out. And it's actually kind of cool. One of the things that I enjoy most about airports is kind of viewing the planes and stuff. And I think this is looking pretty good. I do have a couple other little ATC towers that I think are pretty cool. They're little radar towers actually. So we'll grab this and then let's place just a couple of these on the outside because you normally see these, like I remember in Las Vegas, you see them like right next to the road. The only thing left we really have to do is just some detail stuff. All right, and so I think this is looking pretty good. I think what I'm gonna do now, I need to do those tunnels over here, and I'm gonna do the same thing that we kind of did over here. So I'm gonna use this asphalt with this little tunnel piece to make it look like, you know, something goes underneath. And I think even on this side, I did little fences too, which I think looks kind of cool. Then I'd gone in with intersection marking tool and actually done some lines. Then I'm going to do some pathways in here, create a little small park. I'm gonna do some trees and stuff to kind of line these roads, and then I'm gonna do a fence all the way around, really clean it up, make it look good. So I'm gonna jump into a detailing time lapse, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'll catch you guys on the other side. All right, so I have to admit, I went a little crazy with this one. It's kind of funny. It just snowballed into something far greater than I thought it was going to be. I did end up forgetting about quite a few things within the build, like parking garages, the hotels, general parking. I did add in some fire helicopter depot and a medical helicopter depot. Just a couple cool little things. I did a couple really big hangars over here that I thought looked fun. These I found on the Steam Workshop. They're just assets that you can download. I'll go ahead and link them in my Steam collection on Steam. And then just kind of filled in a lot of the spaces, ended up doing a cool little entrance. So Canalville International Airport kind of coming into the area. I did purple bushes going through here, a lot of trees. I didn't want to do too many trees though, so I really spread them out. Did a couple taxi stands on either side of here. I did end up doing the large luxury hotel in the middle with these fountains, and then some pathways and stuff. I connected this up over here. Initially I had pathways going this way as well, but then I was like, you know, the road's kind of there. It's almost redundant, and so I didn't need it. I did have to move our monorail lines a bit, and I think they might be having some issues. They were running before, but it makes me wonder if they can go all the way around. I think one of them may be stuck. I had to move these over here just to make room for the parking garage. I was like, man, I don't have parking for the airport, which is pretty important, especially like long term. Somebody wants to drive to the airport and take a flight by themselves, you know, they have to leave the airport. They have to leave their vehicle there, and so it kind of makes it tough if there's not parking. I ended up doing these bridges with this tunnel piece under here. It doesn't actually go through, so the water is still blocked. I did have to put a couple water spawns in the middle just to keep it level, otherwise it kind of sank down. I added in a bunch of these lights. I didn't end up putting text on them. You can put text on them. I felt like because it was so far away, it just didn't really matter. But these would have text indicating like what gate they were. And so you would definitely have those for this area. And I ended up doing them for all of them. And it's actually really cool. I like our bridges. I really like the overall look of this. I think this is a fantastic build. I honestly think this may be my favorite airport build out of any of them that I've done. And I've done quite a few. I really like this centerpiece. I think this is fun. I really kept going back and forth on what to do with this. And then I kind of settled with putting the luxury airport or the luxury hotel in the middle. I was like, you know what? I think this is a good fit. And overall, I think this is a huge success. The only thing this is zoned as generic industry. We don't have a huge demand for it at this time. And so it's just going to remain blank until that fills in. And then these warehouses are not being utilized at this point. I don't really need them. We could just go ahead and place them as zone goods. They're going to end up generating a ton of traffic, but at least the indicator will go away. So if we go ahead and take that, you can see it just wants to notify us that it's not being utilized. So if we do that, and then let's go ahead and put them on empty. They still end up filling up quite a bit, but at least maybe it'll be a little bit less with it being on empty. And so overall, I think this is a really fun build. I really like the look of it. I'm going to go ahead and switch over into night view now so I can show you guys some of the things that I did with lights as well. All right, so here we are with Canalville at night. And anybody who hasn't seen this city before, most of our canals are actually lit up with lights, and so I really wanted to incorporate some of that in here. The problem is if it was too bright, then it was going to cause a hindrance for the planes. And so what I ended up doing was placing lights, but I spaced them a little bit farther and a little bit deeper than what I've normally have done. And it's actually kind of cool. It gives us this like green glow. And then I did end up doing quite a few lights over here just to light up our roads. And then I really didn't add in too many other lights. It's really well lit with a lot of these roads. And I didn't want to, again, add in something that was going to hinder any of the airplanes. And so I felt like this was a really good look, but you can kind of see some of the big airport lights are rather bright. And so I think the airplanes are pretty well guided. And then you can kind of see if we zoom in all the yellow lights as well. They're all over the place. And I got this idea from looking at real airports. They end up having these, like these are the way that airplanes know where they're going. And so I felt like it was a really cool touch. So go ahead and let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you're interested in another airport build, I'll go ahead and throw one up on your screen right now. And thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on the next one.